right, we are live. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
It is Monday.
Yes.
Yes, we're all. I had to get my tea before this because I was dragging a little. I had a good weekend. How about you?
It was a very busy weekend. My boys started their first sports, football and baseball,
Wow.
and I'm coaching one of them. So it was a long weekend. And it was
sounds
hot.
like it.
So, but it was fun. It was kind of interesting. I like being. I mean, the kids refer to me as coach. I don't know why, but it helps me feel more comfortable doing it. I don't know. It sounds weird, but
It's funny. So I taught preschool for a while before I had my son, and I was Miss Haley at preschool, and the new neighbor the other day goes, Miss Haley, and I'm like, you're 11, you don't need to call me Miss Haley. That's what they called me at preschool. Like.
Sure. Yeah, I was Coach Tim, so that was kind of
there
fun.
you go.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to introduce. This is Tim Cronk, and he is with Farmers Insurance.
Hello, everybody.
So we have an insurance agent with us, which is great. And if you have any questions about insurance, now is a good time to pop it up and ask us.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that.
Those burning insurance questions you've always
Yeah.
had, just waiting for someone to answer.
Well, you know, I get people ask me questions about house stuff, and I'm like,
Sure.
I'm not the person you want to talk to.
Right.
You need to talk to an insurance agent, and you've
Yeah.
looked after some of my clients.
Yes.
Which I am truly grateful for.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about your business.
Okay, so we are Farmers Insurance Agency. Yes, the bump it a bump 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 bump. That's right. You hear the commercials. But we're a full service agency, so we can take care of all insurance needs. So home, auto, business, liability. We also specialize in life insurance, and that's kind of what's near and dear to my heart as well. So that's something that I really enjoy doing, helping out families and people that have that need. And home insurance is, like you mentioned, is very important in Colorado with the hail and the weather that
Right.
we get. And there's a lot of insurance companies that don't, I don't know how to say it, but they don't sell the right product. And unfortunately, people don't realize that until they have a claim and it's too late, and then it can cost them thousands of dollars. So when it comes to insurance, it's not always about price. It's an important factor. But with insurance, because it's not a commodity that you can actually hold, when you buy it, you're hoping that
Right.
if you have to use it, it's the right kind and it's covering you properly. But unfortunately, for a lot of people, it doesn't, and they don't find out till it's too late.
Yeah.
So it's that's one thing that we do really well is we explain how it works. We take the time to go through it with people. We always start with the better coverages, the higher type of policy, and work our way down if the client needs to. A lot of times you get the bottom because people think, or brokers or agents think you're only concerned about price.
Right.
So they start at the bottom, and they will only work up if you ask. But the reality is most people don't know what to ask because we're the professionals, they're not.
Right.
Just like when you go to the doctor, you don't know what to ask. They look at you and they help you out and they advise you as what to do, right? So that's kind of what we look at ourselves as more advisors than agents,
Right.
so.
And hail is a big one here, as
It
people
is.
know, because we've got whacked this year, like
Yes.
several times.
Yes.
With that hail, and I keep telling people, if you haven't got up on your roof yet, you need to get up and take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And make sure you do it with a trusted roofer.
Yes.
Especially if it's, you really want to use someone that's a referral
Yes.
to yourself if you don't
Yep.
know someone, because when hail hits, those companies come out like locusts and they promise things that they can't live up to. They're companies
Yep.
that bring people in from out of state to do the work, and then once the work's done, they're gone. So it's very difficult to get warranty work. And the reality is also, if they try and tell you they're going to pay your deductible, that's actually illegal. So if you're
That's
dealing
good
with
to
somebody
know.
who does those things, your chances of having a good experience and getting the work done properly is gets small.
That's a really good tip, because
Yeah.
I didn't know that, so that's good. I mean, we had a hailstorm right after we moved in, I think, to our new house, and within 2 hours of that hailstorm, somebody was knocking on the door with a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, and they'll also promise, oh yes, we'll get this approved, it's great with your insurance, no problem, but every insurance company has different requirements for what they
Right.
will allow to get a roof replaced. And those people are kind of playing with your insurance plan and saying, yeah, you're fine, we'll get it covered, but if you file a claim and it doesn't, that can hurt you in the long run.
Right.
Both with rate and if you decide to look elsewhere. So having a trusted agent or advisor that you can go to when this happens, and having someone that can refer the right people out to you and advise you how to go through the process, is the best way to go, instead of trying to just save dollars with a company that you don't have someone that you can trust to be on your side.
Right, good
Yeah.
tips, great tips,
Yeah.
especially for living here. And that kind of covers, I think, like part of what makes you stand out is that you do it more as an advisory role than just kind of trying to sell people
Yeah.
on insurance. But is there something else that makes you stand out in the community? Because there's a lot of insurance agencies,
Sure.
just like there's
Just
a
a
ton
few,
of realtors.
just a couple.
Everybody knows 6 realtors
Right,
or whatever.
yes.
So yeah, what else makes you stand out?
Well, besides the fact that we're always looking to take care of our clients first, we do a lot with the schools. Schools is something that's very important to me. My oldest just started kindergarten, and recently, I think it was last year, I saw an article about kids actually going to school and not being able to get a school lunch, or having their
yeah.
lunches almost like thrown out in front of them when they can't afford it. And it's just crazy to me to think that, when I went to school, that wasn't an issue.
Right.
It was all taken care of. Everyone got a lunch from the school. You brought it with you from home. So that just kind of broke my heart. So one thing that we do through our agencies, we deal with a lot of schools that will try and set up funds for food funds. So if there are kids that can't afford it, or maybe they're late on a payment, or the one thing I also did realize too is for the substitute teachers, because a lot of them get called like at 7 in the morning
Right.
to be there at 8.
Yep.
They don't have time to put together a lunch. So these funds get put together so it can help a substitute teacher get a lunch, or kids that can't afford it. We also do school supplies. Obviously, teachers work extremely hard. They don't get paid
Yes.
anywhere near what they should.
Yep, that's true.
And a lot of times they use their own money, which
They
to me
do.
just it's crazy to me.
Yep.
So my son's school, the lady that works in my office, Sarah, she's fantastic. Her daughter goes to high school. We support their high school. So every month we try and contribute some money to the school where we can buy supplies, either for the classroom or for the PTA, things like that, to make sure the kids that are coming up that are going to be the ones taking care of us in the future,
Right.
are getting the best education and best supplies and lunches and everything possible, which you would think would be just a given, but unfortunately it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's really good.
yeah.
And my son has always gone to schools in lower income areas, so we see a lot of, like you see a lot of that happening. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's crazy how little the schools are funded and how little the teachers are funded.
Yes.
But yet they do their best every day to make sure our kids are taken care of. So
Right.
they deserve as much help as they can get.
They are amazing human beings,
They are.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just started a program here in our office that helps. And teachers is one of those kind of chunks, and so they can get either money back at closing, or if they're selling their house, then we just take it straight off
Okay.
our commission. So
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's something we just started here too.
Good for you guys.
Which
That's
is
great.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
is there something exciting coming up in your business, or a new product that you have?
There's nothing coming out right now, but in the last year we did come out with a new home product that does separate us from almost all the other companies, in the fact that we do cover some things that other companies don't. Also, our policies are customizable. So when it comes to home insurance, most companies, it's kind of, here's your policy. It's kind of one size fits all. If it works, great. If it doesn't, sorry. Well, we can adjust our coverage limits. We can adjust the coverages that we put on the policy, the things that we cover. One of the things that does separate us from everyone else that I know of is we offer slow leak coverage. So when you have that pipe leaking in your wall for 6 months and you didn't realize it till either it finally bursts or the mold gets too bad, we can actually offer coverage for that, where very few companies, if any, even cover that at all. In fact, what I've been told is the #1 denied claim in insurance for homes.
Wow.
So, like I said, we sit down and we talk to the client. What do you need? What are you looking for? Because it's not a one size fits all. Everyone's need is different. Everyone's home is different.
Right.
Everyone's budget is different. We try and get everything in there that we can get into that's going to protect them properly, so that they're not going to lose thousands of dollars in the event of a claim. And we're there to walk them through it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you definitely have some like products and things that are different
Sure.
than other insurance agencies, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So talking about the community, because we are both community-focused business owners.
Absolutely.
So you live and work in Thornton and the surrounding areas.
Yes.
Of course, you have like covered people for me all over the place.
Right, the entire state basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. But what do you love most about the community you live in?
So we live in Thornton, and one of the things that our family gets the most out of from Thornton is the rec centers, the festivals that they have. They have the Harvest Fest and the Winter Fest, and being able, they have great programs for the kids. Our kids go to the summer school there. They go to swim class, gymnastics class. So there's a lot of great things there. And we're kind of on the northern side of Thornton, so they're building another rec center right there at 136 and Hawley, which is not too far from our house. So we're really excited about that, because then it'll be, we
even
can almost
easier
walk there.
Right.
The other thing I really like about Thornton is I feel like they're pretty progressive in that, they're putting in new schools. There's a new high school and a new junior high going in. They put in a new police station and fire department. So they're trying to keep up with the growth that we're getting here. Instead of just building homes, they're building the infrastructure to help support the houses and the families that are moving here. And we like a lot of the little restaurants. One of our favorite pizza places is the Garlic Knot. We're on 120th in Colorado. Doug's Diner just came in at 136 in Colorado.
I haven't been there yet.
Breakfast.
I need to try it.
Yeah. So they're getting some more restaurants in there, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
and more kind of locally owned restaurants than just the chains.
Yeah, because I tend to find those be more enjoyable, because they're just, the atmosphere is more family friendly, and they want your business there, so they're going to do everything they can to take care of you. So
that's
fun
true.
to go to.
So if you could change one thing, I always get people stuck on this question, but if you could change one thing about the Thornton area, what would it be?
That there would be more restaurants there.
More restaurants?
Yeah, because I mean, they have some, but on the northern end where we're at, basically north of almost 120th. There's not a lot. It's mostly homes. It's starting to build, so so more restaurants would be good, and more space for smaller restaurants. There's not a ton of retail. There's not a lot of office space, those types of things. So there's not a lot of room for businesses and restaurants and things like that to come into that area. So I'd love to see them be able to cater more to that type of business, because I think the small businesses is what's really driving the growth. Sure, we're getting the big businesses coming here, the Googles and the, Intel and Amazon.
The outlet mall is being
Right. But, being a small business owner myself, I think would be an awesome opportunity to have more restaurants, more retail spaces, things like that, for people to come in and be able to promote their business and have a place to do it in their hometown, so that they can contribute and relate to the people that they live around, instead of having to go to another city but live in a different city, So yeah.
So you kind of touched on it, but do you have a favorite local business that you frequent or use?
Like I said, I think the Garlic Knot, that's my boys' favorite place. They love pizza.
Which boy doesn't love pizza?
Right. Well, my boys are a little weird. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but yeah.
If I it never fails. Like if Jack's like, "What's for dinner?" and I'm going there like pizza, and he's like, "Yes."
Sure.
I'm like, okay.
That's it. You can't fail, right? But yeah, we prefer to frequent the local establishment more so than the chain. I mean, there's nothing wrong with chain restaurants and things like that, but again, being a small business owner, if I can support somebody else that is doing it just like I am, I'm all in.
Right.
So
I know, I totally get that. I mean, everybody knows that we go to breweries a lot.
Sure.
But I would rather take food in from a local restaurant, or bring my own food and have a beer, than go to a restaurant that serves everything that isn't, localized.
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what is one insurance tip that you can give us that we need to know to do, let's say, to do with our homes?
For your homes?
Yes.
The biggest tip I can give you is ask questions. When you're getting quotes, if you're getting referred to people, ask questions, because that's what we're there for.
Right.
And if you're not getting the answers that you think are right, if you feel weird about it, if it doesn't seem right, if it seems like you're getting pushed into something, take a step back. There's a lot of options out there. Obviously, I'd love to be the only option, right?
Right, wouldn't we all?
Right, exactly. But auto insurance is very basic. You know, you have your car, you have liabilities, basic coverages.
Right.
With homes, there are so many different coverages that are built in there. And there's different ways that they pay out on claims. So just because you have 6 different quotes and they have all the same numbers, doesn't mean they're the same policy.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're going to be covered the same. So those are the types of things where you need to make sure you're asking the right questions, making sure that they know what they're talking about. And yeah, don't be afraid to get a couple quotes. I mean, you want to, because it could vary tremendously.
Right.
And I've had so many people say, well, I've got 3 or 4 different quotes. I don't know the difference.
Right.
They look similar, but the prices are way different.
Yep.
And generally, if it's very inexpensive, there's a reason why. And if it's too expensive, there's probably a better option out there. So, you know, do your diligence to look around, especially if you're new to the area, if you're moving in, if you have a realtor or a lender or somebody that can refer somebody to you, that's always going to be your best bet.
Right.
And then you can branch out from there. Look for the agencies that have the best reviews, the most reviews.
Yep.
You know, and they seem like they have your best interest at heart and not theirs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what about a bit more about the life insurance?
So life insurance, like I said, that's near and dear to me because I have 2 kids. You know, I'm the sole supporter for my family as far as income. So I use myself as an example all the time. If something were to happen to me, if I did not have life insurance, my family would be in big trouble.
Right.
And I tell people often when you sit down at dinner and if you look around the table, and if there's anyone there that's financially responsible to you, then you should have life insurance. But the thing that most people don't understand, there's a lot of living benefits to life insurance as well. It's not just if something happens to you, somebody gets a big chunk of money. There's ways that you can use it to help supplement your retirement. There's ways you can use it for long-term care. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it that a lot of people, when we talk to them, they didn't know. They're like, oh, no one's ever told me that.
Right.
You know? So it's very important. Our process is different than a lot of people, but we make sure that the client gets what they need, not what I think they should have.
Right.
Because we go through that process of a needs analysis and underwriting and approval, and then we get back and say, okay, now let's figure out what's best for you. Because unlike home and auto insurance, there's a wide range of pricing when it comes to life insurance.
Yep.
And until you actually go through the underwriting process, for the most part, they don't know. No one knows. You know, I've written policies that are very inexpensive to very expensive.
Right.
But it also depends on the types of policies, how much coverage, what you're using it for. So there's so many variables. So if you're going to do life insurance, you need to sit down with somebody and talk out why you're getting it and what you need. It's not just a simple, here's some information, spit out a quote, and get it done.
Right.
So that's where a lot of people don't understand the difference between regular home and auto insurance and life insurance. And it's something that once you set, you review it every year, but you don't have to worry anymore. Rates don't change on life insurance. Needs change and they can be adjusted as time goes by.
Right.
But once you get it done and set correctly, you can kind of exhale and think, okay, now I'm safe. My family's as safe as can be if something bad were to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree totally with life insurance. And I think that hit us like a few years ago when I was not working and my husband was, and I was like, well, if something happens to him, like, well, what happens to Jack and I type thing. Like, for me, it's like, do I have money to go back to Australia, you know, and set up a new life back there if I need to. So yeah, that was definitely something that came up in our house and probably needs to come up again because now that I am working full time, what if something happens to me?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And so, and that's the thing is, you know, we review it every year, just like any other insurance product. But yeah, a lot of people don't like to talk about it because no one wants to think about something bad happening.
Right.
But unfortunately in our world it does. So the best you can do is prepare for it, you know, and then deal with it as it comes. But that'll allow you to continue your life as best as possible, continue your family togetherness as best as possible without having to You know, you focus on the right things and not focus on, do we have enough money to live, but you can focus on, how do I take care of the rest of my family that's still here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to check and see if we got any questions.
Okay.
I think Jerry Morgan just popped on and said hi. Do you know Jerry?
I do. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I figured you two must have known each other.
Yes.
Jerry knows everybody.
Jerry does know everyone. Jerry's very good at her job. Yes, she is.
Yes, definitely.
But we love Jerry.
No questions, just lots of hellos.
Hellos, all
So,
right.
hi everybody.
Hello,
and
everyone.
We hope you are having a wonderful Monday, and I saw lots of people jumping on and jumping off, which is awesome. So yeah, thanks Tim for
Of
chatting
course.
today.
Thank you for having me.
It was great and very
Yeah.
educational. I hope everybody, go back and watch it, because there was a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah, and if you have questions, don't ever hesitate. I'm easy to find. Tim Cronk Insurance Agency. We're on Facebook. We're on the web. You can give us a call. You can email me. Our number is 303-963-5177. Or you can always just shoot me an email or a message on Facebook. Someone's in the office all the time, myself and Sarah, and we're there to help with whatever you have. Even if it's just a simple question, you know, that's what we're there for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, I hope everybody has a great Monday, and I will put all the links to Tim's business underneath so you can find them really easily too. So we will see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Haley.